So hi, this is Sudharsan. I'm from India, and this is my colleague Godwin. So both of us, studied genetic engineering together in India. So after our bachelor's, we do not want to become a researcher and do a PhD, but we really wanted to do something. We want to contribute to the science community in a very different way. So that's why we took entrepreneurship. Uh, and this is what we do. I will share you a little presentation about what it's all about.
Wonderful.
Great. So I'm going to be talking more about STEM education, majorly in India and its surrounding countries, or you can, to some extent, on a global scale. So when we stepped into Cambrionics, which is our startup, we started to explore biology education because all of us in Cambrionics are biologists, and we really want to change the way biology is being taught. Because when we were studying school, or when our parents were studying school, especially in India, we felt that the system is still the same. We really did not feel any difference in the way that we have been learning biology. But parallelly, when we were looking at physics, mathematics, chemistry, and what's or not, we were seeing a tremendous improvement in the way the subject or the teaching or the learning has been evolved. In India right now, we have even like learning technologies to learn artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotics for school kids. But still, we do not have any tools, or we do not have any advancement in tools to learn biology. So that was very, it was very nagging for us. Like, why there's not so much in biology, but we have it in every other field. So we really wanted to do something about it. So that's when we start Cambrionics. So with the main motive that we want to reimagine learning biology in schools, at home, and at everywhere. So this is what we started with. And again, like as I said, when we looked at the STEAM or STEM education, there were every sector different.
Looks like you might have froze up for a second.
Yeah, I guess.
That happens.
Yep, it's okay.
Can you turn off your video, Sudharshan? We can just hear your voice. Was he deaf?
Yes, he's dead. But Godwin, you can carry on.
Yeah, I guess he rejoined.
It happens. It happens. Oh, he's coming back.
Better to you guys than to us, because we always
Sudharshan,
feel like
can
it's
you
our
send
fault.
me, isn't it fine, or can I present if the presentation is there?
Yeah. Are you able to?
Oops.
Here, yes. Now he's there.
You can probably.
My video.
Gordon, should I continue or just you'll take over?
Yeah, you continue, I guess, but just mail me the pitch.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so we found out that there were resources for life science for teachers and things, but they were very expensive, and that's why they're used in colleges and in.
Godwin, do you have the presentation as well?
I guess I don't have. Maybe I'll just continue with whatever he left. Okay, so when you take the STEM education in India, no, so that there are a lot many things that are covered. When you take physics or robotics, even AI, that for that matters, there's a STEM education and there's a lot of STEM curriculum for all these things. So that's when we thought, why don't we develop a separate curriculum, STEM curriculum for biology, which has robust tools to learn biology. So when you take biology, the things that we learned in school was all about drawing and all about remembering names, all those things. So since we were researchers, we had access to many live organisms. Say, for example, if you want to test a drug in research, you first test it in an insect or a fish. Okay, so since we were researchers initially, we had access to all these organisms, and we were able to take these organisms to school classrooms. Okay, so there's a model organism called zebrafish. So we took those fishes to schools, and say if I'm studying about a heart, the student can see a live heartbeat pumping through the zebrafish. Okay, and you can also see the arteries, veins. You can see the red blood cells moving around the heart, all those things. And these things intrigued us to develop the product more. And that's when we developed some kit boxes, STEM kit boxes based in biology. Okay, so we are currently working with many schools. We are working with several kids in India, where we exclusively talk about life science and biology, and we don't see age as a restriction to learn research or life science. So that's what we have been doing it for the past 3 years. Sudarshan, if you want to continue, you can continue.
I'm very sorry, my internet here is very bad, but I'm just trying to keep my video off. So as I just Godwin was telling, one of the first tools that we really want to restructure and rebuild was the microscope. So this we designed it when I was there in Germany at University of Heidelberg. So we really want to take down a complex stereo microscope and tone it down so that it can be both used in research as well as in classroom teaching. So this is a comparative image of my colleague who is using it in her lab, as well as this a classroom in Germany. So you can see it is the same microscope that is used in both places, but the learning gets enhanced so good. So this is what we want to start with. And next we want to go with microbes, because we again want to break the barrier of biology, telling that it can be learned only in laboratory, or you really need very complex instruments and equipments to actually learn and experiment biology. We really want to break that barrier. So what we did was we built a very cheap laminar airflow in which you grow bacteria in a laboratory, and we put it in the hands of kids. Just see here how beautifully this kid has streaked a heart in with bacteria. None of the other microbiology students would be able to do this. They would just tear the agar plate. Okay, and the second, just see how professionally that kid is labeling his bacteria that he isolated from soil and from water. So what we found out was, when we started to build cheap and affordable and DIY tools for biology learning and education, we found a huge transformation in their learning and in their curiosity. And that is what, again, so this is again one of the interesting experiments we did. I hope all of us would have heard about terrarium. It would have been a hobby for a lot of people in like Eastern countries, I know. So what we did was we took a live grass, a live plants, a live insects, and we just gave it to the child and just told the child that you should actually create your own sustaining form of earth inside this little jar, and just see the happiness in the kid's face in just doing it. And this is the result that we got. There's no other better way to actually for the kid to learn an ecosystem much better than this, by constructing his or her own. The kid was able to understand why we use charcoal pellets. The kid was able to understand the different layers of the earth. By just building a simple terrarium, the kid was able to understand environmental biology. The kid was able to understand geography. The kid was able to understand different forms of botany and zoology as well. So what we found was, when biology put in a very different way or given a very live way for them to interact with, we found a huge leap in the learning process. So these are just a few of our kids who got graduated from our programs, and we were always surprised by the way they celebrate biology, or when they complete an experiment or when they complete a class, they celebrate the class or they celebrate the biology that I've never seen anywhere. The last time I celebrated was when I was in a cricket match or in a football, but I found these kids celebrate the science or the learning, and that is what always puts a smile to all our faces every single time we step into our classes. And this is what we actually came up with. So we made a box, we curated tools and resources for teachers, and we put it in a box so that everyone else in this world can be benefited from this. And we created a hybrid model, keeping in mind the COVID situation, where you can ship the kids to their homes and you can still do an online class and they can still learn hands-on. Okay, and this is just images of what's there inside. So this is the microscope that will be there, and this is like the hydroponics kit with which the kids will learn. So inside the tabs box, they have experiments, like you saw the pictures, they have activities and games, they have documentaries done, they have case studies. So it is not just experiment, but they have a mixed way of learning. They learn through music, they learn through visuals, they learn through reading, and they learn through experimenting as well. One of the most interesting part was we made a card game on menstruation, and we just tried it with a few government schools in Chennai, and it worked out fantastic. So this is what we've been doing for the last 3 years, where we were able to do few workshops in France. We indeed work with a group of school in France known as IFIA group of schools. And with our 3 years of experience working with kids, we really feel that biology still, or biology learning and biology teachers still has to be empowered. And we really need a lot of low cost tools, affordable tools for everyone to really get their thing with. So this is again signing off me and Godwin by just telling biology is not just as a subject, but biology is a way of life. Even you need to understand why your hair turns gray. You need to understand why you fall sick. So biology is not just as a subject for kids, but for everyone as well. So we just want to conclude by saying that if nature can't teach us science, we really cannot think of a better way to do it.
Very good, very good. And anyone in the world can contact you? You'd be interested in hearing from people around the world?
Yes, Jake, we would love to.
Yes, I was going to ask you, will you ship the kits anywhere?
Yeah. So we ship it to France and Singapore and a few other countries as well.
So are the kits independent or do they go with a class? So if I ordered a kit for my grandsons, do they use it in an online class with you, or they can do it independently without joining a class?
Again, so we work on a more customized model. So if the school demands for a kit that could be taught in the class, we give a kit and also a lesson plan for the teachers. If they wanted to do it independently, we also have kits and instructions according to it.
And then I had one other
So
question.
it all comes as a package. You get an instructional video, you get an instructional manual so that you can facilitate learning at your home, or we facilitate the teachers so that they can take the learning forward.
Okay. And then the only other question I had was, what age is the perfect age to start kids learning about biology? I mean, what's that perfect spot to begin with?
So we are targeting from the age 7. So maybe if there's 1 minute, I can tell you an interesting story of a 7-year-old. Okay, so we were able to teach the concept of DNA, and she was able to isolate DNA from banana. Okay, and she asked some interesting questions. Okay, so banana is sweet because of its gene, and chili is very hot because of its gene. So she was telling that why don't we take the gene of the banana and put it in chili, so it will also taste sweet, right? So she was able to get the complete concept of genes and DNA, and we feel anywhere from age 6 is appropriate to know what exactly biology is all about.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Thanks.
This is a great concept that you have developed, and I think that's wonderful. Excellent.
Thanks a lot, Jake.
And we will be showing this video. This video will be posted online and people will be seeing it. And I suspect you will be hearing from teachers and parents and maybe even students from around the world. And your organization is Cambrionics, right? Cambrionics.com, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks a lot, Jake. Thanks a lot, Julie. And thanks a lot, everyone, for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you.
And thank you for creating this wonderful program.
I sent you a little note in chat, so you can reach out if you're interested. I have lots of different kits and different things on my website now. It doesn't cost you anything to be listed there. And this is different than anything we have there. So that would be really cool to have it on our site.
Okay. Can we take a pic so that we can use in social media?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you want your partner to come back on?
I guess the internet is not great there. Sudharsan, can you join for the pic? Yeah, he's there. Yeah, got it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.